Christina, Keanu, talk to me about joining this established, beloved family that is Toy Story.
Yeah, it was a great honor to be invited. For me, I was really excited. I knew I wasn't going to be able to work with Tim and with Tom, but I knew that working with Pixar and being with these characters and these performers, that I was getting a chance to be a part of something that's legendary. And so I was really excited. And Pixar gave me a great character with Caboom. And so it was really fun to be a part of this story.
And it's good that we wrote Tom out. It's a big surprise, but thank God Woody's finally out of the movie. About time we said sayonara to the cowboy.
Tim, he's still in the movie.
Right! That's embarrassing. I didn't see the final cut. I just saw the part that I did. So is he still in the movie?
We showed Tim. We cut it off about 10 minutes before the end.
Wow, that is awkward. That is awkward. I love Hanks. No, this is the best part of this whole thing is the new guys, the new women, the new stories, the new character. It really is the coolest part of this, to see this whole family rise up. And I said this over and over again. There's a theme park at Disney World based on this movie that we started 25 years ago. I saw it I saw the original Tensor Lamp at film school done by John Lasseter, and I love that computer animation. I saw this done to a terrific story that Pixar came up with. Back then, one of these guys, I love that story. I love this story so much about how they get not family values, I don't want to make it like that. It's just such a warmth of this, and this one, gosh, if you guys haven't seen it, if you have seen it, you see what it is. It's rich and thick and great, and Buzz is so good.
How did you get here, Christina?
Christina.
Yes, go Christina. Tell us about joining as Gabby Gabby and such an in-depth character with so many layers and so many emotions.
No, she's so lovely. I like that. I think when children see this movie, she comes across as sort of like the villain at first, and then you realize that she's coming from a very loving place, and I think that's important to sort of say, like, maybe you don't like someone at first, but maybe how did they get there, and why are they there, and understanding their story. So I think she's very special in that way, and then she sort of gets embraced by the group, and then it's about support, and I honestly thought that it was a joke that they asked me to do. I kept thinking there were like 3 other people up for the same thing.
Yes. How, in your mind, has the character grown and evolved?
Well, it's funny to watch this whole transition. At one point, Woody, because he's mean, yelled, "You are a toy." And I had to transition from he was always been wonderfully ignorant about who he was, that he was a toy. But his transition has always been, okay, that was a terrible moment for me, let's regroup. And Buzz got to be the same. His core has always been this little authentic, kind of soft-hearted, but no heart at all. You'll see in this movie, it's kind of weird about that when Woody has this inner voice. I think it's the sweetest part of this movie that I don't understand that whole thing. I love this ignorance, or that, it's not ignorance, he's innocent. A better way of saying it. And he's just one of his best friends. And you'll see through this thing, that's the journey through this thing, is how cool friends these guys are.
Caboom is such a unique character because he's badass, he's confident, but at the same time, he's also goofy, he's also crybaby a little. So
What's wrong with that?
So, Keanu, how do you get into his character? Or let's say, how do you unleash your crybaby side after being a badass John Wick to crybaby?
I think that all of the characters, and I think this is what's really cool about Disney and Pixar and Josh, all of the creators of the stories and the characters themselves and the performances, is that I think we can identify, there's so many different kinds of people going through different things. And Duke Caboom just happened to be a crybaby and super with a big heart and brave, who loved life, and so I think that there's a bit of Duke Caboom in all of us.
Hey, do you just want to pass your mic to your left? Oh, you have one. Go. Shoot.
This is for Keanu and the producers and director. As one of the few Canadians here, I'm very happy to see some honorable representation in this film. Thank you, Keanu. My question is, was the plan for Duke always to be a Canadian and wear the Canadian flag?
Yes.
All right. And
From day one.
and that's why Keanu was perfect for the role?
You know, yes, that, and also when we cast these roles, we don't want to see faces. We have a casting department, and they bring in a bunch of recordings, and so they turn the headshots over. We don't want to see who the person is. We just want to hear the voice. We don't even know who we're listening to. And so we'll listen to a bunch and who's that? Or who's that? But right away, I think we grabbed what clip was that from? One of your movies we grabbed and we're listening to, and we all went, whoa, who's that? Who's that?
Who's that crybaby?
And they said, it's Keanu Reeves. And we're like, that's perfect. And we're just so grateful that Keanu agreed to.
There's a lot of great Canadians that work at Pixar too, and they all volunteered to animate all of the Duke Caboom shots. So he's mostly animated by Canadian animators, almost 100%.
The Maple Leaf crew.
Yeah, the Maple Leaf. We hung the flag on the Pixar when we were shot briefing that sequence.
You're known for roles where you show your face a lot, and now you've done one where you're a voice actor. Can you tell me how that kind of has influenced you as an actor, or maybe future projects?
I think in an odd way, you're doing the same thing, right? I mean, you're finding the emotion of the character, the timing of the character, and the voice of the character. I would say for us, we don't get to, and I think that's really cool about the film is how they physically embody, right? Like Lightyear's movements and Gabby Gabby's kind of thing. Right? I mean, you kind of just feel like you're finding the emotion, the timing of the character, and it's really the same thing in a way that you're doing if you're not doing an animated project.
I will add to that even when you're doing the poses, like you're really doing poses there on stage as we're doing. So it is actually physically taxing.
I mean, like when I was playing Duke Caboom, like to get into character, I would like go Caboom. You know, do you go like to infinity and beyond, like to get into the spirit of it?
Ad nauseum, because I've literally said that. When that shows up on a script after 25 years, they say, and you see the last line, yeah, I think I got that part. But they have to say it again. You know, there's only so many ways.
I know, but is that like a fun, like if you have to find the character, like do you go to that?
Doing this a lot, reaching for the lasers and all that stuff. Yeah, it's just like you said.
Christina, when we see the previews of Toy Story 4, you know, Gabby Gabby's portrayed as this really creepy doll, and then she eventually evolves in the movie. Is there something that you want the little girls to get out of your performance? And from Gabby Gabby, what message do you want to send to them?
I think that ultimately that you have to listen to everyone's full story before you make a judgment about them, and to hopefully not make a judgment about them. I think that's the lovely thing that she brings to this part of the story, is that everyone comes from a place, and it's what made them who they are, and you need to listen to that before you can fully understand them.
Have you guys seen the movie, the finished edit? You have? What was your first reaction? Did you guys cry like I did and my family? How did you guys react to the whole thing? We laughed, we cried, ran the gamut.
Yeah, I'm too close to it. I said this is through the process, and then I'm always, because I'm an old filmmaker, and I love the computer-generated part of this. It gets better and better and better. I just like just the look of it was stunning, and then as I've said many times, I read through it, and then the end kind of was mercurial, and then I read it, and it was so bold, and I wrestle with loss in my family, loss in my life, and I'm an old philosophy major in college, and I just losing this kind of stuff, losing and gaining. It's like the sadness, number 4 was like a daughter getting married, perhaps. There's great sadness because she's leaving, but great sadness because she's also gaining something. And that's what this is about. And I told Tom the same thing when he hadn't read it and I'd finished it. I had a real tough time. But I have a lot of other baggage about losing things and how this whole world is. And I just loved how they filmed it. The beginning is emotional. And they trick you with this little emotion thing at the beginning. You get sucked into it. And then Caboom is so funny. These guys, everybody knew is so wonderful to watch. You know, the part of me going, where did I ever show up? And it's back to the same beauty of the way these monstrously idiotic great writers come up with this story. It's so
Thank you.
It's just wonderful. It's great, great writing.
Of all the years of voicing Buzz, is there anything memorable, whether emotional or blooper from the sound booth, a session that you remember? That's memorable.
I can't, and I love kids, kind of. I like families, but my comedy for 20 or 30 years is not for children. So sometimes my memorable things is saying stuff that Buzz would generally not say. After a long day of doing the same thing over and over again. But the classic to me is when I would ad-lib. And it's not like Robin when he did Aladdin. When I ad-lib, it's not a happy moment for the animators. Because they'll go, oh God, that was funny. God darn it, that was funny. Which means they got to go back and reanimate. And Miss Nesbitt, when I get drunk on Darjeeling tea, and I'm holding my own arm in my hands. I think I can't remember why I lost my arm. And I said, is the hat too much? Is the hat too much? And it's under my breath as I walk out of that scene. It was hysterical. They left that in, and Woody goes, you are a toy. And I said, you are a sad, strange little man. And you have my pity. And that was, again, animators going, oh, damn, that's funnier than what we wrote. Those moments are great to me, because early on they give it to me. Later, they don't. They just, Tim, read it as written.
Guys, I'll make this a real quick question. Been bothering me kind of for 25 years, and now staring at him up there on the screen. What kind of haircut does Buzz have?
He has alopecia, is the problem. He has pattern baldness underneath that balaclava that he wears. It's for fireproofing. No, actually, he's got a beautiful head of hair underneath there. It's rather curly, and he's got a man bun.
Thank you.